I want to talk to y'all about YouTube. How many of you actually started YouTube due to the economy struggles right now that a lot of us are going through? I mention that because I'm looking at articles and just watching the news, and they talked about how the economy is right now, but they skip over everything. They talk about all the layoffs and all the cutbacks that government is doing right now in the government. But I noticed they stopped talking about the struggles of the everyday people. It just seems though they talk about tariffs. They talk about all the things implementing around spending money and trying to save the economy. But at the same time, people are staggered and they are in a position right now where as though you can't quite get ahead. Something that we don't talk about a lot of, I think because we're used to it, but it's something that we just don't talk about on YouTube a lot. And it's something that affects us a lot. And it's something that we do. Well, I'm not going to say we do. This affects us every week or every 2 weeks. And it has a lot to do with our pay. This thing called taxes. We in a time in the economy right now where as though this is tax season. You know, you can file your taxes right now. And it's crazy because a lot of us are in a struggle mode. Even if you make good money, but it don't feel like it. Because every damn thing is so expensive to the point you can't even quite understand where your money is going. And it's at a point now where as though, I'm not going to say work feels like it's not worth going to work, but it starts to feel like work is not worth it. Think about this. We don't talk about taxes a lot, but it's something that's really, it makes me sit down now and really evaluate how everything is going now. I even have a property, and even the filing of anything that you're doing today seems to not even mean anything right now. Even the taxes are being done different this year. More people are getting less money back. Now, don't get it twisted. I make a certain amount to the point I don't get a lot back, but to the point now, hardly getting anything back. And you're trying to figure out what kind of world are we living in right now to the point where as though we go to work, we pay taxes. But this is the problem when it comes to taxes, that I think a lot of us are really starting to look at things a little differently, because lately we've been seeing a lot of the news talking about the taxes and everything that's going on right now when it comes to the government cutting costs. Think about this. You can make $100,000 and you coming home with damn near $60,000 to spend. Some places 70. This is sad. They say the more money you make, the more money you spend in taxes. But what's happening now is the tax rates done went up. And what really bothers me is we talk about these things and we say we can't do anything about it. I get that. But does it come a time where everybody start to lose their cool and the momentum just stops? When people just say, forget everything, I'm not paying this, and people team up to the point where as though the world just switches up? I don't think that's going to happen. But it's a thought that kind of make you wonder if we start to operate a little different. Because it's to the point now where as though when you spend as much in taxes, to the point where as though you're able to buy a car cash with the tax money you paid for the year. That's a problem. That means you literally are paying the government for you to work. That's basically what it is when you're paying taxes. You're basically paying the government for you to work. People say, no, you paying because you're in the United States. Yeah. But in actuality, you really are paying the government for you to work. Because if you look at anybody that's actually getting assistance that don't work, who are they paying? They're not paying really anybody. We're the ones that's paying for that. So we are basically going to work just to pay the government to do whatever it is with our money. And say, I'm going to spend it here. I'm going to do whatever I want with it. Even going grocery shopping. Grocery shopping don't even feel like grocery shopping no more. It feel like you going clothes shopping. Everything is so extremely high. And it's crazy because your check don't go as far as it used to. And it seems like it's on purpose. Where so they don't want your money to travel far. Because even investing right now, investing is so spooky and scary because you can't take a loss like you did before. Like you just can't. You can't take a gamble like that. And I realized I can't take gambles like that because even with me doing a renovation, I had to like cut down on some of the stuff I was doing because everything is more expensive. When it comes to my kid, I'm spending more. It seems like while they're in school, you're thinking everything is covered. But for some odd reason, every couple of weeks, there's always something, a book fair. I done seen more book fairs in school than a little bit. You seeing more things happening now that's just overly expensive. You got daycare. Crazy outrageous. I'm glad my kid is not in daycare no more. But daycare was really a mortgage. It was damn near a mortgage. It felt like it. We are definitely living in times now where as though we used to complain about what's not fair. I don't even understand what is fair now. It seems like that's something that's far and beyond because right now, what's going on right now, it seems like a reset. Like they want everybody at a standstill. A standstill that's causing people to lose their cool. You see more violence. You can't even go out now and enjoy yourself. Think about this. You really cannot enjoy yourself and enjoy the luxury of life because everything is so overly inflated in price. Even going out. Even from where I'm at. Going downtown. You have to be cautious when you in Center City, where I'm at, because if you out too late, somebody is plotting on you, and you can likely be robbed. Depending on the areas you in, it's very highly. These are areas that where as though people will lay on you and wait for you to go to your car, and next thing you know, something is happening to the point where so you might not even make it back home due to a robbery. We got more violence than a little bit. I don't know what's going on right now, but it's definitely a reset somewhere. You see more of us as men, more aggressive. You see women today, more aggressive. You can't even tell who's who, but just from the face card, you know who's talking. Other than that, men and women are acting similar. It's like everybody is in such an aggressive mentality right now. Because I think the economy is so jacked up right now. We can't quite see forward of what we're trying to do. It's hard. The struggle is definitely real. I don't know if they're trying to stop people from getting ahead. I don't know if they're trying to put people in a predicament to crash out. They putting so many people in predicaments that's making you kind of rethink how you operate when it comes to money. New cars are not even selling no more. If they are, You paying an arm and a leg. You paying a house note for a car. Everything is set up for you to stay stagnated, to stay right there in that position, to say, oh, I want you to go forward, but not yet. I'm not done with you yet. That's what it's doing to you right now. It's making you just sit right there, just enough to make you sit back and say, I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford this. I can't take a trip. And if I take a trip, mortgage ain't going to get paid. It's going to be a couple things not getting paid. This is probably why you're starting to see a lot of people on YouTube. Like, I got on YouTube because I had a lot to express. And I felt as though I can grow a channel to get to a point where as though, it'd be something of another income. But I didn't do it for income. But it seems as though this is the way now. Everything is digital. Everything is AI. Everything is to a point where as though it's like, damn, do I get on YouTube to try to supplement my income to get a second income so I can at least get ahead? But at the end of the day, it's still a facade because people are really not out here. I'm not going to say they're not out here. You don't have a large community of people that are millionaires or making a full-time living on YouTube. It's a very small percentage. And when you look at it, it looks like it's a lot. But if you're really paying attention and looking at the numbers, you look at the data, if you look up YouTube's data, it shows you and lets you know that it's not a lot of people on YouTube making a lot of money that's able to quit their job. And that scares. Because even with doing that, just think about it. You really feel confident to be able to fall back and quit your job? Like literally, let's talk about that. Do you really feel confident and comfortable to sit back and quit your job for YouTube? Especially if you bring it in under 10,000. If you bring it in under 10,000, I'm not trying to say if you're going to go over 10,000 if you should quit your job or not. But I think that if you're going to do stuff like that, you need to have businesses already set up that's making money and it's a branch off of YouTube. That way, if YouTube decides to change anything, remember something. If you're on a platform, it's still a corporation that's ran. Only difference is your supply and demand, which means YouTube is your employer. A lot of times, people don't really look at YouTube as an employer. Remember, if they're paying you, they are your employer. Only difference is you're not clocking in. It's at your own discretion. So if it's at your own discretion, do you think you should take it lightly and put all your eggs into that basket to say, I'm going to lie here and I'm going to die on the sword and put everything that I have going on into one area, which is YouTube? And YouTube, I'm not saying it's not a good place, but everybody in the world is not going to be able to prosper off of YouTube and sit back and get rich and watch the sunset. That's not possible. Everybody's not entertaining. Everybody's not memorable. Everybody's not giving people a fulfillment of to be able to just listen to their story, because everybody don't have a story to tell. Some stories are just stories that people are just putting out there just to fabricate something, just to get views, And some like me are just telling real life stories and giving you details of their life or what they went through that can help people. But are a lot of people jumping on YouTube today due to the economy struggles? It makes you wonder. You see more people today being laid off. You see more people today talking about they lost their job and they recording it. They literally are recording it. And it's sad because you want to think these videos are fake. But when you look at them, you don't know which ones are fake and you don't know which ones are, real. But then some of them, you find out that they're real. And it's sad because when you see somebody lose their job, you see a person lose their livelihood. And I say their livelihood because some people live through their job, which is a bad thing, which is a wake-up call to most. They live like that. They think their job is their be-all. This is what I am. I'm an accountant. I'm a lawyer. I'm this and that. And they die on that. This is who I am. That's not who you are. It's a job. It's a job. But this is the world that build people up to be like, I made it. I achieved school. I went through school. I did all this. I did all that. And I got my diploma. Now I have a degree, a bachelor's degree. I did all these things. And then the end result is what I'm going to do next. And it's sad because what I'm going to do next is one of those areas of your life that you tend to hit when you basically feel like you're at the end of the road. And a lot of people feel like I've been here before. I've been fired. Man, it's not fun. The worst part about being fired is it's wild because I'm thinking about it now. It's weird because I remember that feeling. And that feeling is crazy because when you get fired, I remember the feeling I felt. I got called in the office. And it's weird because when it happens, you still at the place that you were employed at. But you leaving. And it's weird because when you get in your car, it feels disbelief, but you still at work, but you're not. And it don't really hit you till the next day, sometimes 2 days. Because what tends to happen is, that's why I can relate when people normally get fired. Because if you've never been fired, the one thing that you feel when you first get fired, it don't feel real. It don't feel real because in most cases, you are still at the facility or the business that you were employed by. And normally when they fire you, they call you to an office. Well, normally they ain't call me into the office. What they do is your supervisor come, or they meet you at the time clock or wherever how you clock in. And they normally get you in the beginning. For some odd reason, they normally get you in the beginning when you come to work. And I got my boss met me at the time clock. Oh, it's weird, man. And you know that feeling. You know something's off. And you know I'm about to be reprimanded for something. That's normally what goes through your head. You don't know you're about to be fired. Unless things are circling around the company that they doing fires or they doing layoffs. That's normally you would think you're being fired. Because I remember when they did that before, and man, it was scary. Because when they did that, they had a cop outside. They had a cop out there that was there for almost a week or two, something like that. That was so long ago. I worked for a computer company. And I was with that company for a long time. But I got fired. And when I got fired, man, it was just weird. And once you go to HR, you walk in. The weirdest part about getting fired. Oh, man, the weirdest part. It gives you a feeling to your heart. It's like boom, 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 boom. Because as soon as you walk in, they always have the door closed. And when you walk in with your supervisor or whoever your boss is. Basically, it's always your supervisor or boss. Somebody that's in charge that you know. You always know the person. I don't know if it's like that with everybody, but most cases you know the person. And as soon as you walk in, you see the damn manager. And you're like, whoa, hold up. My supervisor and the person that's above him in HR? Oh. That's when you know, but it's not official. So once you have that exit talk, I call it, I won't call it the death talk, but it do feel like you leaving a funeral when you in that office, and it was weird because they always started off with, "Hey, how you doing today?" We was looking over some things, and we had to make a decision. They always talk slow, but slow enough to the point where so you understand it and you can hear it, but you are not going to walk away confused. Only confusion you're going to walk away with is like, damn, why me? That's the only confusion. Other than that, they let you know you are terminated. And it's crazy because they don't say you terminated. They just say we're going to end your employment as of today. And they let you know the reasons, or if they're getting rid of people, they had to cut back. That's why I can relate to what people are going through, because that after effect don't hit until you home for at least 2 or 3 days. And it hits because you know you don't have a check coming that following week. It's normally that week you're getting paid even though you're at home. But that's when you know, boy, the real work starts now. It's time for me now. Take a deep breath. It's time for me to go ahead and start job hunting. Because right now, I don't quite know where I'm going to look, but it's time to start looking. And right now, this is the economy that most people do not want to be looking for a job in. Because you having too many ghost jobs, jobs that are being posted, and for some odd reason, no one's being hired. And I know that because they've been doing studies on a bunch of these jobs that's been posted on LinkedIn, Facebook. You know what's funny? I remember there was a time we used to go do agencies. I don't see agencies like I used to, because agencies are the ones that find you your job, that put you there temporarily, and you can work for a good 3 to 6 months. I don't see many agencies no more. I don't even know if they still using them. I'm pretty sure they still do, but you just don't see them because I guess it's not as profitable. I don't know. I can't answer that, But I do remember those days, and I remember it's easy to find a part-time job. You can go to an agency and say, look, this is what I'm looking for. And they say, oh, look, they'll call you back within a couple of days, and they'll be like, look, I found something for you. That's not the era we in right now. We're in the era of laying you off. We're in the era of you open your mouth, say something crazy on social media about your job. Believe me, your coworkers are not your friends. Let you be friends with your coworkers on any of these social platforms. Say something crazy. Not only say something crazy, do something crazy on social media. Something that's detrimental to your employer, which is can be an embarrassment if people found out that you work at this place, that you are actually employed at. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be cautious and careful of what you do today. Social media done hurt a lot. They even post, a bunch of people done posted people working 2 jobs from home. You heard me. 2 jobs from home, which is one of probably the biggest reasons why they don't restructure the work home policies. If you work from home, I don't know if you know, I know a lot of you already know that probably are working from home, or you might not be working from home now. You probably were called back into the office. But people that been working from home end up having an update to their policy about working 2 jobs from home while you're employed by them, because too many people don't put too much of their business out in the public to the point where so jobs started seeing that. See, this is the thing about social media. You got to know when to cut it off, and you got to know when to shut up and not put certain businesses out there, because your face is linked to whatever you said. And if your job get a hold of whatever you said on social media, you are definitely going to be in for a rude awakening. So, I'm sorry. I just wanted to vent. And it's just one of those things now where as though we're all out here. All of us might not be living out of our car. A lot of us might be able to pay our mortgage. But we all are feeling it. So I'm going to say, God bless, good luck, and hopefully 2025 we make it through this year a lot better. Hopefully the economy sharpen up and you prosper. All right?